Hi guys, so King of Bots episode 5. I thought this episode wasn't as strong as the other ones, but it still had some decent fights in it. So first off we had Great White versus Hunting Winds. And Great White once again shows this ferocious spinner on the front of it. And started taking panels off Hunting Wind, which didn't really stand much of a chance. But what was also cool is we got to see Neon, Ellis's little featherweight bot, come in and also take off a panel of its spinner, showing just how powerful that little thing is, taking on the heavyweights. I enjoyed the random call of someone call 911.
Somebody call 911.
And they used that fog of war like in the face of the competitors thing again. And as before, it was just like one of them hits it, the other one goes oh, and hits it straight away as well. So it's just psh, psh, and that seems to happen a lot. So like I said, I'm not keen on that. I think it's kind of pointless. Next fight was a real shock. So this was Megabyte versus Jiu-Union. I think I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I severely doubt I'm pronouncing that right. Weirdly enough, this robot had cropped up before, but that's the first time I've seen that name. So I'm guessing wherever I got the names from before, maybe because of interpretation, I'm actually getting different names for the same robots. But hey ho, like I said, this was such a shock. Megabyte were like one of the favorites. Reading through the comments, there's a few like proper diehard Megabyte fans who are like, yeah, that's gonna annihilate everything. But just that little like bolt head or something just got caught on the side. But to be fair, the opposing robot was really going for it and trying to like stop them getting up their spinner, and was keeping them sort of all don't want to say disorientated, what's the word, unbalanced, that's the word. So it was keeping them really unbalanced, so they couldn't quite get the spinner going, as it were, because like the sort of underside of the robot, because the actual spinner weighs so much, it was almost like that was sort of staying a bit still and the underside was zooming around. So they did really well to control, and I don't want to put it all down to like bad luck because it got caught on the side. Generally I'm not like a big fan of full body spinners, but I think, I don't know, Megabyte is a very sexy one. This is my opinion there. Next up we had Suspension versus Snake, which I swear again, in the first time we watched this, was called Gluttonous Snake, but now it's just Snake. The glutton is done with the glutton, it's turned a corner in its life. Suspension again were really fast and maneuverable, my favourite phrase, but Snake just had a lot of ground clearance, and it was again very well controlled, and got in the sort of the control bot sort of scoop lift up action quite a few times, which shows really that it's not just, that wasn't just sort of a fluke thing. That's a very well designed and well driven robot. Shame to see the Suspension team go out. Battle 4 was like a sort of playoff, and it was the crappy Carbide versus this red drum spinner, which I can't remember the name of right now, but the red drum spinner did really well, and the Carbide style spinner took a real battering. Like at the end, its actual wheel was like just hanging off, it was just completely lopsided, and I think that was sort of a combination of the other robot having a really decent weapon but also itself having kind of poor armor. So you guys know my style by now. I like to be very positive about stuff. Well, I just naturally am. But it's very hard to be positive about a fight where the robots very literally, and I don't like the misuse of the word literally, but literally don't touch each other. One hits a wall, the other one just sort of stops. This was a terrible, terrible battle. By the way, this was Knife Legend versus Moments. Not that it really matters, it was just, could have been anything. Could have been like a washing machine in the middle and then a microwave next to it, and that would have been basically the same battle. And I think the face of one of the commentators at the end just absolutely says it all. He just looks completely like, the fudge was this crap. I love it. And then the last battle, because there was only 6 again, was Thunder and Lightning versus Ninja General. Thunder and Lightning was much better driven than I thought than the first battle they were in, and I really like the one that's like the dad and his kid. I think that's really cute, and they work as a team. They both got a little robot. I think that's a really cool dynamic they've got, and I love the way they were like both doing the dual like spinny celebration thing. Ninja General, I don't want to be cruel about it. It's obviously a first attempt. Like this is the new sport to China, as it were, but the weapons looked very, very ineffective against like big heavyweights. And I only noticed in this fight they have little tiny ninja stars like spinning on the front of them, which I don't know if that's for style or whether that's a genuine attempt at a weapon. I'm not sure. But like I say, it's a learning curve, and they've come in, they've had a go, and they've won one battle, so you know, good for them. So like I say, overall this episode didn't get me as excited as the other episodes have. I think it's probably the weakest, but that's not to say it was a bad episode. Sorry this one's been a little bit late. I was obviously working on my Tough as Nails RC model, and another one which is coming up, and also another video which is also coming up, which I'll release at some point. So I've been really busy with this stuff, so I let this get a little bit behind. Again, I think it was because I wasn't that enthused about this episode, so I apologise. But yeah, I'll try and be a bit more on point with my next one. Cheerio guys, thanks for watching.